Hey there, I'm doing a quick little gift for Ace of Seven. I gave a little bit of writing advice about just talking and talking and just talking like way more, and then how it kind of helps you get story ideas flowing. So I'm just gonna give a random example. Sorry if there's talking. I am not the only one who is home. Also, sorry if my dog shows up because she is right there. Stop. Why do you eat water bottles? Stop it. Okay, so just gonna run through a story of mine that I was gonna do, kind of want to do, maybe I'll do, I don't know, it's for my Akuma Me story, Akuma Sona, I guess is what it's called. I decided that it was called Rewriter, and so it is about me in the Miraculous Ladybug universe, and I'm a writer. And I was thinking that the way that I get Akumized is that I'm a writer whose book isn't being fairly viewed. I can't get it into the editors or the publishers. Maybe I could do something else where I was trying to publish it myself, couldn't get a publishing house to take me seriously, or somebody was trying to give me a really bad deal. I can also imagine me getting Akumized, like it has to do something with writing, something for me personally, but I could also get Akumized something like, oh, really harsh review, like a critic that I thought was unfair, somebody who was ruining my reputation, really crap editor, something like that. So I'm really frustrated about writing. I was thinking it would be good for the story if I had a roommate. So I was gonna write in that I had a roommate who was actually Panda013 on Tumblr. Name's Amanda. So, you know, me and her, we live in Paris. Some of the details were like I was 19 when I moved to Paris. I'm 20 years old now. Had been living on, I think, I mean, how I got the money to move out there, I mean, I guess you could just say it was trust fund baby or something. But while I'm out there, don't have a lot of money. Really hard to make ends meet. Paris is an extremely expensive city to live in, I think. So me and Panda both have two jobs, and we are running ourselves thin. I'm working retail and something else. I think I'm doing articles, like online articles, like, you know, clickbait articles, just like writing and writing, 10 cents a word, just trying to make a living out of writing. Panda's working a waitress job, as well as I think I had her in a pharmacy or something. Not a pharmacist. You need schooling for that. I mean like a CVS type store, like a Kmart or something. She's working retail. She deals with the public a lot. Also, really wanted to be buddies with Theo. I thought it would be cool to have Theo involved in the story because he's an artist. He would get the whole starving artist thing, the struggling artist thing, and all of this would play into me getting Akumized because I'm really stressed out, don't have a lot of money, really struggling to make ends meet, just trying to get rent, snapping at my friends, apologizing, and they'd be like, this is really out of character for you, what is happening? I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just really frustrated. And then it was just one thing after another, and it would build up, and have a lot of really potent negative emotions. And it is my personal headcanon that the more negative an emotion is, the more powerful or competent that the Akuma is. And I had a feeling like, what if it was a whole bunch of stuff that was just like, oh my god, everything is wrong, and it just stacks up. And then I got Akumized. I want it to be in a journal. See, it would be a journal, probably like this one has all with the fan fiction, a journal like that. I just have it, and then I was thinking a bridge over the sign. Is that how you say that? The river in Paris? No. Paris River, with the big tower. I had a thing where like I was standing on a bridge and I had the thing in my hand, and there's no one else around for some reason because apparently in all my stories Paris is pretty empty, which is not true. But in that there's like a thing, I'm standing on a bridge and I'm really frustrated, you know, doing that Akuma victim thing where I'm kind of monologuing to myself and just being like, oh, it's not fair, oh, you know, I work so hard and I have the book and everyone keeps telling me that I'm talented but I don't believe in myself, and there would be a lot of really genuine insecurity in there, so I could really play off of that, just be like, oh, you know, like, I don't know if I'm good enough, I don't know, like, is the story just not good? Have I been believing? Oh, okay, here's an important thing that I forgot to mention. I wanted the story that I was writing to be, a story that I have tried to write a couple of times, about a character named Pilot, which is where my username came from. It's an original character named Pilot, who was originally a really long time ago based off of myself, but changed pretty drastically. And I want that to be the story that me in the ML universe is trying to get published. And so she's like, have I just been too attached to these characters? Was I being too sentimental? Was I too attached and not willing to be critical about these characters and just realized that they were born or flat, they had nowhere to go? Were they really just flawed from the start? And I just was doomed from the beginning because I was using flawed characters in a storyline, or maybe the storyline was flawed. So, I have a lot of insecurity in that, and it would revolve really heavily around maybe these characters aren't what I thought they were. Why can no one see the life in these characters that I can? That would be like a big thing. So, Butterfly shows up, hits the journal. It would be in the journal. Hawkmoth is like, hello, rewriter. I think I wrote this down, actually. I'm going to keep vamping while I look for it. But, he would show up and want to write too much fanfiction. Seriously, guys. It's like, I'm glad I used colored pens. Okay, so this is the right area, didn't it? Oh, I wrote a little section of me ranting to Theo in a coffee shop, where it's like, I don't know, Theo, it's like, I think I have talent, really, but I don't know, man. Maybe I don't. Maybe I never did. Cut it out, Chris. You know this is stupid, her friend Theo rebutted, drinking heavily from his cup of coffee. You'll get your chance, man. I never thought I'd get commissioned by the city when I did. Oh yeah, you're the real success story, man. You have just as many jobs as I do. So, just kind of snapping at her friend that's like uncharacteristic for me. That's not really something that I would do. And so he'd be like, hey, can you like chill out? And there would be like I have a lot of little scenes. This is like a scene of me getting home in the apartment. I threw on my keys. The keys hit a cup. The cup smashes on the floor. And I'm like, fuck! And like, I'm just getting mad. And then my roommate, Amanda, just shows up and is like, hey, what's going on, man? What the heck? Like, you just got home. Like, did your meeting not go well? And that ticks me off. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I just try and calm down and clean everything up. But it's clear that I'm ranting. And like, Amanda's really understanding about it. And she helps me clean up. And then she's like, Theo was coming over with food, but do you want me to tell him not to come? I'm like, no, tell him to come. And, like, I take a shower, I try and relax, but then Theo comes and he's like, hey, you want to rant a little bit? You look like you're mad. So I'm ranting and I'm yelling, and there's the part that I wrote down. Theo and Manny immediately protest. Okay, wait. Want to rant about it a little? He suggests once they've settled in. I won't talk your guys' ear off just because I had a rotten day. Panda and Theo wait expectantly. Eventually, I speak up and I say, I guess I'm just thinking I'm not really cut out for writing. Everybody's mad, and they're like, what the fuck? And they're like, I'm serious. Like, there's obviously something missing, right? Is it not engaging? Am I too attached to these stupid characters? I want to tell their story, but I'm being stupid. Obviously, it's not a good one. I should just give up. Just freelance or something. Spend my days writing sandwich commercials. Maybe just stick to retail. Just bust my ass every single day dealing with tourists and awful people so I can scrounge for a paycheck that breaks 3 digits so I can spend all of it on rent and count my change for fucking takeout. And so, like, I'm getting progressively more emotional and just upset. And so I'm like, if anyone gets this, it's you guys, right? Isn't it terrifying? Doing something you love and following your passion and having so little to show for it? Aren't you exhausted? Taking any job just so you can keep being told no? We've got enough now, me and Amanda, working 2 jobs each, doing commissions anytime we're not pulling our hair out. We aren't starving, but fucking you came here to create and design, but you fucking run yourself ragged trying to get tips from greedy tourists. I came here to follow my dream and be a published author, but am I even being realistic anymore? 2 jobs and 3 doctor's appointments for stress in as many days. Is that realistic? So, it's this kind of this spiraling down, getting more and more emotional kind of thing. When possession hits happened. Oh, that's what I was looking for. See, when I ramble, I just get so sad. I'm looking for the thing. It's about doing what you love, being enough. Oh, yeah, that's a really good line that I really like that I haven't used. It's like, Thea says something like, it's not about the money. And I say, like, no, it's about doing what you love, being enough, and it isn't. If I even had 1 copy, I might feel better, but I don't. I've got nothing to show for all that love and work, and no one cares. So it's about doing what you love, being enough, and how it isn't. I get pissed, I fucking leave. Okay. Oh, wordsmith. I forgot. I changed it to wordsmith at one point. The name of the Alchema, the whole thing. Sorry. I'm a rambler. I talk really fast. Is anybody keeping up with this? Probably not. Hawkmoth is like, blah, blah, I knew I wrote this down. I knew I did. Wordsmith. An honor to meet someone with so much potential. I am Hawkmoth, and I offer you the power to play a key role in the greatest story you shall ever author. I only ask a small favor in return. I smile. And my wording here is very important, as is everywhere in the story. If I actually read it, I don't know if I will. It's like, I'm sure there's a way for everyone to get what they want. Just have to find the right words. So I say that incredibly deliberately because my plan is that me as a bad guy is always a good guy, but in the long term. Like, it would be the coolest turnaround ever if in all the fighting, all this crazy stuff that's happening, I'm doing things incredibly deliberately, and it's alluded to because part of my powers would be bringing characters of mine from my story to life to work as henchmen on my behalf. But one of the people I bring to life is Pilot, the main character of the story that I had tried to write. And so when Pilot's alive, she's basically just like, I don't know why she brought me to life. I'm a good guy. I'm not going to do the bad thing. So she turns around and joins Ladybug and Cat Noir. But when they're bunkered down somewhere, she's like, you guys don't get it. And they're like, what? She's like, she chooses all of her words incredibly deliberately. Why would she consciously give life to someone she knew was only ever going to be the good guy? And so they're like, oh, well, maybe she just made a mistake. Maybe she just brought all of her characters to life. But the Pilot, she isn't convinced. And she's like, something else is in play here. Something else. There's a bigger something else. Why would she give you guys an ally? That doesn't make sense. And she's creating all of these really intense scenarios. And basically what her action is as an Akuma, she's making them doubt. It's the only action that she's taking. She's separating them constantly and constantly reminding them that their partner could die at any second. They could be dead, and you have no way to get to them. And it's like, and if they ever face Hawkmoth, they will definitely die. Oh, you're never going to protect them. They're so going to die. Even if you beat me, they're so super dead. And like, that just kind of happening and happening and happening and happening. And then at the very end, which is actually only like the middle of the story, but the end is me. I'm standing there, I'm all possessed and shit, and I've got my book, and like I'm holding it, and there's a quill floating nearby, and Ladybug comes up, and I have the quill, and I'm writing something down, and she walks up to me, she's like, give it up, wordsmith, or whatever, and then I laugh, and I hold out a finger, like, give me just a second, and I finish writing out something, and then I close the book, and then I hand it to her, and I said, there you go, Lady Luck, should make a good story, shouldn't it? And she's like, what? She's really confused, because I just totally gave up the possessed object. Hawkmoth is in his lair, like, what the fuck are you doing? What the And so I'm like, chill, Hawkmoth. Everybody's gonna get what they want at the end. He's like, I promised you Ladybug and Cat Noir is miraculous, and you will have it. And so basically, she would give up the book, and Ladybug would be like, fucking, okay. She tears the book, gets the Akuma, possesses the thing. Now this is incredibly important. The writing perspective changes here. I'm not sure how I would do it. I think the first part of the story, or at least the section in where she's confronted by Ladybug, would be written in first person, and then it switches back to third person, and you're like, that's weird. Like, and you're kind of constantly reminded of Pilot saying she chooses all of her words really deliberately. So maybe I would switch to like third person or something, and so the rest of the story would happen. I'm talking 30,000 words. It's still happening. The Akuma fight that the story is named for is totally over. You know? She's gone. Like, she doesn't remember anything, and it's this big thing. And when she had been possessed, she was basically telling this thing. She was like, it's a very, very good story, and it's a very, very important thing. You know, all words are very deliberate. And there's a point where not possessed me is visited by Ladybug and Cat Noir at one point, and it's just like, hey, so, you know, you were a victim of this thing, and they're talking to me. I'm like, oh, God, that's fucking crazy. But I seem like a little out of it, like it's a little different than other things. And they're like, what is it? And it's just like, I just don't get why I would do that. Even if I was possessed, it's like, it's just not a good story if the bad guy wins. And, like, that's a very deliberate thing where it's just like, I've always believed the good guys win. It's just not a good story any other way. And it's like, even if I was possessed because I had the desire to make a good story, I don't know why I would go back on that. And also why I would give up. Doesn't that seem kind of anticlimactic? Unless there's a twist somewhere. It was like, maybe I had a plan and it was ruined, but that just doesn't sound like something I would do, because it's not. Like, and then they're like, why not? I said, like, because it's not how I would write it. And that sticks with them, and it's a big deal. And they're like, I don't know, months pass, months and months and months pass, and like they're fighting Alchemists and shit. But that seed of doubt of that their partner could die at any second stays, and it sticks, and it bothers them, and it eats at Cat Noir the most because that's who I had focused on the most. And he's just like, if I let her go to confront Hawkmoth, like she's gonna die. Like it's like I can't let her die. She's too important, and it would be really crazy for him. And then months and months and months and months and months and months pass. And then it's the setup, the doubt, and everything. The doubt is what drives Cat Noir to confront Hawkmoth on his own. He's defeated. And Ladybug goes, but since she doesn't have her partner, she is defeated. They both lose. Hawkmoth has the Miraculouses. He has them. And then, way far away, me, sitting at home, and I have this journal. And I'm open to a certain page. And I'm looking at something that I had written a really long time ago that hadn't been erased when the miraculous cure had gone. And I was looking at it, and I was reading at the page, and on the page, you see that it says, is again, Hawkmoth stood above them, prepared to kill them, whole thing, be really romantic pose, and you flip it, and you see that they're still writing, and the story still goes. And at the top it says, because it's just not a good, like it's written in like an editor's note, it's like, it's just not a good story if the heroes don't win. And then they rally like crazy. Ladybug and Cat Noir, they come back. They come back, you know? They win, they kick his ass, they get the miraculous back. Hawkmoth is defeated. They win. It's amazing. Best story anybody's ever heard, you know? Like, it's the big story. And it's crazy. And everyone's really excited. Parents are like, we're free from Hawkmoth. And they're like, we fucking did it. We did it. Oh my god. And then the story switches back to first person. And it basically does, I snapped the journal shut and slowly looked up at the famous Ladybug as she stood across from me in the clearing. And I smiled and I held out the book and said, there you go, Lady Luck. That should make a good story, shouldn't it? And then you're like, oh, the entire thing was her writing the story from the first point. She authored the entirety of Hawkmoth's downfall. Because that's a good story, one with a crazy twist, and that's something that I would write. So it's like, it makes sense if I'm the villain who did that, right? So I was like, as soon as I had that idea, I was like, fuck yeah, yes, yes. But I don't know if I'll ever write it, because I'm lazy. And that's like a 60,000 word story to do it right, and then like have the twist, and I kind of spoiled the twist, but that's why I wanted to talk about it. So, you know, everybody would be like, oh, whoa. Okay, so that was me rambling. You see, it's just talk about an idea, and you know, you can just get it going, and none of that was like well thought out or anything. So yeah, use it as a writing exercise. Bye!